am a proud product of public education. See, what I want people to see around the world when they look at me is not Princeton and Harvard or maybe the First Lady of the United States. I want them to see what an investment in public education means. That I wouldn't be here if it weren't for those simple neighborhood schools around the corner. We didn't have charters, magnets, all that stuff. You know, you didn't have to sign your kid up for school when they were 2 in hopes that they could get into the one decent school in the whole city. You went to the school around the corner back then. See, there was absolutely nothing miraculous about how I grew up, nothing. My parents weren't miracle workers. They were simple, hard-working folks. Maybe the most miraculous thing about my upbringing is that I saw hard work and sacrifice firsthand, like most Americans do. See, because my father got up and went to work every day. And it probably wasn't easy for him because he was a man with a disability. My father had multiple sclerosis, contracted it in the prime of his life. He had served in the military, had been a boxer, a swimmer, and then all of a sudden he couldn't walk. I never knew my father to be a man that could run. Never in my life have I seen my father run. And when he died, he could only get around with the aid of a motorized cart, so his disease got progressively worse over my lifetime. But I didn't know that aspect of my father, the disappointment that he must have felt in how his life turned out, the fear that he must have had every morning that maybe he couldn't get up and support the family that greatly depended on him. Never showed us that. Because my father got up and went to work every day, and he never complained. He didn't make excuses. He was never late. You know, see, because now looking back, I know what was going through my father's mind. He didn't focus on his disappointment because he took great pride in what he could do for us, me and my brother. You know, that's where his pride and joy came from. That's what gave him hope, was the fact that he could take care of his family. That was his joy. Imagine a man like my father didn't go to college, my mother didn't go to college. They sent me and my brother to Princeton. Imagine that back then, because you could do that back then. Send not 1 but 2 kids to one of the best universities in the world. So I know my father was proud of what he could do for us. He had put his dreams on hold to help us achieve our own. And see, the thing about my dad's story is that it's no different from where most Americans are. Most Americans are like my father. I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they're living. Folks don't want much in this country. People aren't greedy and selfish. They're just not. You know, they want to know that if they work hard every day, that in exchange they can earn a job that pays a living wage and be able to take care of their kids and give them a better life. You know, they want to know that their kids will get a decent education in the neighborhood school and maybe aspire to go to college, or at least get a job where they can care for themselves and their grandkids. They want to know if they get sick, they won't go bankrupt. They want to know that when they retire after a lifetime of sacrifice, that they'll have a little money in the bank and be able to live with a little respect and dignity. That's all folks want. But see, we are living in times right now where the simple little life that I had, that unmiraculous life, has become an impossibility for most regular people. See, regular folks can't do what my dad did, and we all know that. Jobs like my father had, those blue-collar jobs, are dwindling. They don't exist. And if you're lucky enough to have a job, your salary is not keeping up with the cost of living. You need 2 incomes to make ends meet. And if you make the choice in your lifetime that you want to stay at home with your kids, if those are your values, you can't do it without putting your family at financial peril. Everybody's got to work. Have to. And if you're a single parent, I don't know how you do it. And there are millions of them all over this country, struggling every day. I know these mothers feel every day like they're failing. See, because when you can't get ahead, catch up, and all the while society is telling you you're not doing enough, your kids need to be reading better, you're not at parent-teacher conferences, why are your kids overweight? Well, you can't cook a meal and go to work, go to the grocery store every day, cut up vegetables. You can't do that. So you feel like a failure. Every single day, your society has put you in a position where no matter what you do, you never get ahead. And in those neighborhood schools, those schools I went to, it's drying up all over the place because No Child Left Behind is sucking the life out of our public education system. Teachers don't have the freedom to engage students at the level that they need to. Kids are being tested to death. You know, if my life depended on an outcome of a test, I wouldn't be here. I kid you not. But see, that's what we're doing to our children. So now parents have to worry about that. Are their kids getting the preparation? So on top of the financial worries, you're worried that your kids are making it. They're not brilliant, they're left behind. And college has become out of reach. And we all know kids like me, just like me, the good kids that did exactly what was asked of them. They studied, they prepared, they did their homework, they joined every extracurricular. They're the good kids. They had visions of going to college, got there, looked at the cost and thought, I can't do this to my family. So they have to stop and think now whether college is even something that's affordable. And if you're a kid like me and you made the investment, you took the risk and you went, you come out in 4 years with so much debt that you can't get ahead. We're making certain careers obsolete in our society. You know, you want to be a teacher, a social worker, a nurse, a journalist, anything that's not a hedge fund manager or a corporate lawyer. Nothing against lawyers. You can't afford it because the cost to get the degree will never be covered by the salary that you will make. So now kids aren't stupid. They know this. And they're thinking hard about their future as they go to college. So where are we going to find the next generation of teachers? And trust me, Barack and I know this dilemma. We are a few years outside of it because, see, we had to take out loans for those great schools that we went to because we didn't have trust funds. Still looking for Barack's trust fund. Like, you sure? And then I heard about that Cheney stuff. I thought, Cousin Cheney might have sent us a little something. But we got nothing. We got nothing but debt. And we're in debt because we did what we thought we were supposed to do. We didn't stay in corporate America. We went out and worked for the community. Every job we took, we made less money. My mother was like, what is going on with you two? We're working for the people. The only reason we are not in debt today is because Barack wrote 2 best-selling books, and thank you all. That is not a financial plan. Like Jack and his magic beans. Look, honey, we're going to write these books and plant them in the garden because then we'll be out of debt. Well, it worked out for us. We were lucky. And it wasn't because we weren't working hard. We were lucky. And there are millions of young families like ours, couples, starting their own families at a point in time when you have to start saving for your kids' college because you got to start when they're 2. Hope y'all starting, putting it away. But if you haven't paid off your own debt, how are you going to start saving for your kids' college education? That's the position. These are folks with PhDs and master's degrees. These are folks who made the right choice, never catching up. And healthcare don't get sick in this country. Not here. With insurance, because we're in debt as a nation now, not because we're living extravagantly or wasteful, because somebody got sick. And their deductibles didn't cover the cost. They had to get prescription medicine. Medication had to be put on a credit card, and then you're sunk. Never being able to get ahead. And retirement. I mean, I tell people everywhere I go, I live and breathe today, in and out, because of my 70-year-old mother who finally retired off of the pension from that job that my father had. She is in a financial position to help me with my girls. She's there right now as I left them, cheering me all out. Yay, bye, go, Mom. Grandma's here. Kicking me out the door. See, because my mother has lost her mind. She doesn't have rules anymore. But she doesn't like vegetables. Why should she have to eat them ever? Are you serious? left them my grandma.